I'm saying that Gullah Geechee as a language, as a dialect, has influenced Black American English.
No, it
And I don't. Can I just
Where
give
are
the
you getting this
evidence?
from?
Words like
No,
yam, words like
no,
yam.
no, you can't do that
You're not
because we
getting
don't speak a
anything.
pidgin English. Everybody
I'm
doesn't
not.
speak a
I'm not.
pidgin
I'm not.
English,
I'm
so
not. I'm
no,
not
they haven't
saying.
influenced us.
I am not saying that you guys speak a pidgin English, and that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that words like mojo, these loan words, are things that got into Black American English through Gullah Geechee for the most part. I don't see anything to disagree about. Like, is that not true?
And if we still use the words to this day, have they not been like you're acting like the words died? If the word, even let's hypothetically say that
Words
true,
like jive, juke, there's so many words that I could think of that are like distinctively Black American in character that white people in America don't use or didn't create. That come from Gullah Geechee.
So
Yeah,
Dan,
it's called the language continuum.
you know this.
It's very.
You know this.
There's a scholar. Her name is Tracy Weldon. She has a publication called "The Place of Gullah in the African American Linguistic Continuum." If you guys can find that, then I think she explains it better than I can. So it's a language continuum, basically. It's a spectrum.
I've never heard that before. Wani, that's your area of expertise. You ever heard this? Can y'all hear me? Uh-oh.
Say it again. I left the room because I was bored.
Oh. Dan.
Yeah, nah, I said it was a linguistic continuum.
I felt like cursing again, and I'm going to tell you why. How can people on plantations get all kinds of language from people in Gullah Geechee regions when they're not even how? If my family is on a plantation in Kentucky, how are we getting our information from Gullah Geechee people in the Low Country?
Facts.
You don't know what you're talking about. Is what's happening.
Where people not being sold across the country.
No, Dan.
Be quiet.
This is what we talking about, Dan. You're talking to people who know, and yes, people were being sold across the country, but it was different slave ports, sir. There was a major port in South Carolina. That's where you get Gullah Geechee from. There was a major port in New Orleans. That has nothing to do with South Carolina.
Exactly.
Major port in Virginia. So, like, your argument doesn't even make sense.
I'm pretty sure Virginia would also englobe part of the Gullah people.
Why are you insisting upon Gullah people down
I'm not insisting specifically on Gullah Geechee people.
Do you understand the notion?
This also applies to Louisiana Creole.
Do you have the notion of isolates? They have isolates here in America, like up in the Appalachian. They speak a certain way. They're not making everybody else speak like them. I mean, what you're saying is not true. That's the whole point of the isolates, that they have specific things. The whole charm of the Gullah Geechee is that they have their own way of speaking in their own accent and all this stuff. You can't just say what you want to say. I don't speak like people in Louisiana. You can't say I do. You can't say Louisiana people influenced all of us to speak like them, or else we'd all be saying baby. Hey baby. We'd all be doing Mardi Gras, but we're not. That's their thing. You can't tell us what we're doing. You can't tell us what we eat. We don't all eat Louisiana and gumbo. We don't eat that food. Some of us do. If we live nearby, if we have a Louisiana grandmama up in Kentucky, sure. You might get some good gumbo. You can't tell us what we do. We have regional charm, okay? We have a collective culture that we all know about, but we have regional charm. We have regional accents. You don't even know what you're talking about. Nobody is telling us, do I sound like someone from New York? No. But I have cousins in New York, and they say stuff I don't say. And I talk to them on the phone all the time. I'm still not going to say I'm going to stand online. I'm going to say I stand in line, and we're going to argue about who's right and who's wrong. You don't even know what we're doing, and we're in the same family.
Well, Wani, I'm glad that this issue has popped up because Dan is not isolated with that attitude of I'm gonna tell Black Americans who they are. I've noticed a lot of West Africans feel so inclined to tell us who we are when they don't know shit about us. Where does that come from?
Can I say this, because yet again, Dan is no authority to speak on foundational Black American culture. So my paternal side of the family, my father's side, they come from the Midlands of South Carolina, which is nowhere near the coast. My grandfather does not speak Pidgin English at all. I've never heard him speak Pidgin English. However, my grandfather does speak with an accent. And only until I got older did I realize that his accent was different, that he talked he talks like a Southerner. Like he's the only person who calls me gal. And I was like, why did he call me gal? Because nobody else says that. And then I asked him where he was born. And that's when he told me where he was born. Our family is from the Midlands. During my ancestry and lineage, that's where they're from. So no, they don't sound like people from Charleston. Charleston people have a whole different accent. But yet again, yes, as people go from place to place, people pick up words, people pick up dances. We do those things and we pass it amongst each other. It helps to add, see my air quotes, flavor to our culture. But no, we're all not sitting around speaking Pidgin English just because we know people that do. Like, that's just not what we're doing. Every now and again, we'll take a little something from here or there. But no, that's not the case. Even regionally in South Carolina, everybody don't sound the same.
Let me ask him a quick question. What makes you think that Gullah Geechee people would be the epicenter to make everybody in the whole United States talk like them? What makes you think that? Because I'll tell you why. Because you feel like they're preserving African culture, and you can flip every Black American on its back, open up our fucking mouths, and put a funnel of African down our throat. That's why you're doing it.
There it is. Bingo.
Nah, that's not the purpose.
Can you tell
I think I speak.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me why you claim that we're learning to speak from Gullah Geechee people who are very isolated. How are they telling us all how to speak and cook? And why am I not weaving a quilt in a sweetgrass basket right now? Where are you getting this from? What is your proof that they're influencing how we speak and eat? Right now, I want to know.
I think you're kind of hyperbolizing what I was saying.
No,
I'm not saying
they influence everything we're saying. Prove that it's coming from them.
Not everything that you're saying.
Prove that it's coming from them. Prove that anything came. Prove that they're influencing how we live.
Dan,
Tracy Weldon, her paper. She's a PhD in linguistics, so you can check her out.
Well, Dan, I think Wani just pulled your card, bro. That is a perfect explanation to me. It's the crowbarring of African culture into every aspect of foundational Black American life so you can dominate it. And like our brother Tariq Nasheed say, turn us into generic Africans, and therefore you become the real thing and thereby become an authority figure. That's what it is. Just like
I got some.
Go ahead, Wani.
I have some more bad news for you, Dan, which I was out of the room and you were babbling about yams. Tell us more about yams and how everybody taught us how to say the word yam. Tell us who taught us how to say the word yam. Go ahead. Where did we get that from?
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Oh, yes, you do. You said the word yam. The word yam was taught to us from the Gullah Geechee. Really? Would you like to bet right now? Would you like to bet that Africans created the word yam and taught us how to say the word yam? Would you like to bet on that?
Well, the word yam as
yes
used.
Or no? Yes or no? Do you want to bet $1,000 to my Cash App right now if I prove that you're wrong?
There's no Cash App in Germany, but hey,
what you got?
Hey, PayPal.
Would you pay? Okay, PayPal me $1,000 unless you can prove that yam is from West Africa.
The plant or
Say
the
it
word?
In front of the room.
I'm trying to understand your question because
the word yam, according to you, comes from Africans teaching us how to talk over here because we don't know any words. Correct?
Yeah, no, that's not how it works.
Okay, we just got the word from an African because they're big time balling and they're teaching everyone how to talk. They're not enslaved, right? You keep forgetting the shackles on people.
Nah.
You got the Gullah Geechee just waltzing all over this mother, teaching everybody how to say yam. Use your brain. Who created the word yam?
I think you expect me to say the Spanish. Is that what you're gonna say?
I want the facts. Who created this word?
The fact is that the word
that you keep saying Africans brought over here, their babbling asses didn't bring anything. They can't talk now. How are they bringing anything? They didn't bring anything. These are corruptions spoken by the colonizers.
Hello.
You owe me $1,000.
All right, Dan, we'll come back to you. This is becoming circular and it's going nowhere. Your defense is not withstanding logic. Wani's logic makes perfect sense to me. Thank you for clarifying that, Wani. It's a vector of domination. Wow. Go ahead, stand on it. You've been waiting a minute.
Oh, yes. I was going to wait until you shifted to the common enemy. I was just listening to you all on the language piece, but I guess I can touch on. I just wanted to touch on the common enemy piece.
Okay.
And that's supposedly what Pan-Africanism is supposed to be built on. That we're supposed to have a common enemy, which is the white man, the European, the world conqueror, the world oppressor. But we've been duped because we're more serious about fighting it than they are. And so, we do have a common enemy, but I guess we're probably, they probably see us as more of an enemy than they do that white person who they let colonize them and of course, and who they team up with and all of that. So, I saw the title and I came in the room and I just wanted to touch on that. Yeah, we're supposed to have a common enemy, but I don't know. That's why Pan-Africanism is dead, I guess, in our land.
Well, quickly, I was wanting to hear Tata's perspective. We're going to shift to common enemy. But if Tata, grab a mic. I wanted to know more about your perspective on the Gullah Geechee language. We have to be careful engaging in circular arguments with people that don't make sense, because it can burn our time. Our time is very precious. Dan, next time come with scholarship and be succinct.
Yeah, I invited her back up. I don't know if she's able to come back up, but late 16th century from the Portuguese word inham or obsolete Spanish word inam, this word yam originated. Again, everything that the Portuguese and Spanish see over there, they give it their name. They come back over here and say, this is okra, this is this is that. The African is not coming over here telling anybody anything. And they're certainly not passing it on to Gullah Geechee people who are then passing it on to us when we're both enslaved, if people haven't noticed.
Right. Tata, what are your thoughts on language?
Hi, family.
Hey.
Thank you. Hi. Hey, Wani, Professor. I just want to say for someone who my mom's side is Gullah Geechee, and I was raised closely with my grandfather, my grandmother, who's from Georgetown, South Carolina. My grandfather's from Paulus Island, and I never knew that they had an accent really until I got older. Some of my friends growing up, we're from Florida, but my family would travel back and forth to South Carolina to Florida. And my grandparents, they had 15 children, and they all was raised here in Florida. But for some reason, my grandmother would have them all in Georgetown, South Carolina. But I never knew of an accent, until I got older, really. But a lot of my classmates, they would say, "Oh, your grandmother sound, she talked funny," but I never, would hear it. But closely growing up, and we still travel back and forth to South Carolina, Charleston, Georgetown, where a lot of my cousins and older cousins still live. It's a broken English. It's like a word that they would say, are y'all coming one car? And it's like all y'all come in one car, but it's just fast, broken English and like that. But I don't know what he's talking about, and he just saying stuff to throw at the wall to see what stick, and just trying to combine us with Africa, which I've never heard that from any of my family. And we just had our family reunion in July. My great grandmother, whose birth certificate that I have, that was born in 1872, that's my grandfather's mom, who was from Paulus Island, which is right there by Georgetown. But yeah, they all have this accent. I fully understand. It's just a broken English. That's all. And yeah.
Can you say it like they said it again?
Are you coming one car? That means all y'all come in one car. That's all.
Wow.
All y'all come in one car. It's real fast. They just talk real fast. That's it. And broke up.
Tata, you just destroyed a myth that's been going around with the Pan-Africanists that Gullah Geechee, the language, is a mix of West African.
Yeah, I never heard of that. And they would be pissed off. My cousins, they were like, people would say, yo, you sound Jamaican or whatever. They were like, I'm no damn Jamaican. We're no African. They would cuss people out about that. Yeah. So, but yeah, but my grandfather, their home is still here in Florida. My mom and my aunt live in it. But we were raised close, with them, and they come here and they'll stay for a few months with us. Yeah, but yeah, it's understandable. It's just broken English. That's all.
Wow. Well, we got about 30 more minutes remaining in space. We're gonna go ahead and shift to Africans. Do FBAs and Africans have a common enemy? Do we? Let's hear what who is up next. I think Leo Tate. Leo, do Africans and West Africans and FBAs have a common enemy? What are your thoughts? Leo, he dropped down.
He's on the listener.
Okay.
After the swine, my brother, was saying, yeah, the African is its own enemy and it's also our enemy. And people are confused because they think we can't have two enemies. And we definitely can. We have a lot of enemies. Remember the transatlantic slave trade? Remember the people that were selling human beings? That was an enemy. And the people buying human beings are enemies. Anybody who is participating in the slave trade or oppressing us at all is an enemy. People that are going to court to fight us so we can't get into Harvard, they're an enemy. All of these people are enemies. Anybody who goes against us, anybody who sits on a reparations task force and says we shouldn't get reparations and we all need to go to Ghana, all of these people are enemies. So we can have multiple enemies. And I think that's what's confusing to the way that the African thinks. They feel like if you are against us, that means you like white supremacists. Just like if I say something negative about Democrats, oh, you like Trump. How? What does that have to do with it? I don't have to like Democrats. I can dislike aspects of both parties, but some people's minds can't understand that I'm not on a team. The team is me, my group. And anything that goes against my group, I'm going to speak out against it. And it doesn't matter if it's an opposing team or a team that's against other people. What's right is right for us, and what's wrong is wrong for us. And that's where it's going to stay.
Right. What's interesting about this is power. The thing about relying on other people to give you power is very dangerous because they can take, if you let somebody give you power, they can take it right back from you. So foundational Black Americans vis-a-vis Pan-Africanists have given West Africans this power and this validation of authority with respect to culture. And y'all saw how fast we took it back. We just took it back. Just like giving a child the keys to your car and say, oh, okay, all right, you want to smoke some cigarettes? Give them keys back. So we took that power back, and now all of a sudden, all of their arguments are crumbling. Dan had no ground to stand on. I love it. Take back that power, ladies and gentlemen. Original blood. Go ahead, bro.
Yes. Do FBAs have a language? Yes. You can, do FBAs and African have a kind of common enemy? Yes. Is there, our common enemy is their tribal enemy? Because and what they would do is, now hear me clearly. Remember, I don't know if I said this to you, Professor Marty and Kush, that years ago, I have a cousin. He was the head of this research department in solar technologies. And so he had some Africans and Caribbeans that was working under him. And so what happened is he noticed how the Africans and Caribbeans would they would treat the Black Americans very badly. He put a stop to it. And so what happened is when he did that, the Africans and Caribbeans, they banded together and they came after him trying to get him fired. They went to HR and upper management. Well, what they didn't understand is how things work in this country. An investigation ensued. And what the investigation revealed, that it was them who were at fault. And some of them got reprimanded, some got demoted. And they was told that if you can't take instructions from him, find you somewhere else to work. And so, see, their version of Pan-Africanism is them uniting with one another and coming after us. So that's why I say our common enemy is their tribal enemy. It's not technically, look at what some of these people are doing when they come over here now. And they're upset, like you just said, they're upset that we have stood up and said no, and in some cases, hell effing no. You do not speak for us. Because see, all of that, like you all have been saying, that came from them jacked up in the head Pan-Africans. Because anything that we have or anything that we do, they always want to relate it back to Africa. But see, I'm like Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson said, do not call me an African American, because that takes away from the creative genius that we created here, and it gives credit to somebody that had nothing to do with it. That's what people need to understand. No, we're not. We're not Africans. We're foundational Black Americans, and people need to understand that. And I think that's why the other, I guess, the person have gone, they've dropped down. That's why they've done that, because anytime these people from the 90s, anytime they conducted any kind of research, they always connected us back to Africa. They never it was Dr. Anderson in the 90s who told us that we were not immigrants. But see, the Pan-Africans couldn't accept that. Because their head is so far up Africa's butt, they can't see or smell anything else but that. And so, that is why they did not gravitate towards Dr. Anderson, because he was moving differently, letting us know that we're not immigrants. We've always been here. And so it was our great scholar, Dr. Claude Anderson, that opened all of this up for us. Now, it may have taken some of us several years to, really embrace it and see that truth that Dr. Anderson brought us. But it was those damn Pan-Africans that kept blocking everything, trying to make us these Africans that we've never been. Just because they brought some over here, we were already here. And so I just want to say that, because people need to understand that we have a unique and distinct culture here. Language, whatever you want to say. And it does not revolve around Africa. And people need to, why is that so hard for people to understand? You don't see any other group of people saying that, just giving all their unique inventions and things to a people that had nothing to do with it. But that's what we are expected to do. When it comes to anything that we do, they want to relate it to Africa. See, Professor Griff got jacked up a couple of weeks ago when something went, when they was talking about the boycott of, the African braiding shops and other melanated immigrant businesses. But see, what he doesn't understand is that they never want to point the finger at them. They always want to point the finger at us and make us the bad guy, make us the foul guy, whatever, But no, it was them who started this. They're the ones that started this whole conversation by talking about us on Clubhouse and other social media apps, and they had nothing nice.
Black students, we need to know our history.
The black history we're being taught in public schools is repetitive.
As a black high school student, I want to learn more about my history in the school books.
We need to update our books.
As Black American students, we deserve an accurate depiction of what history truly is.
I want to see myself in these textbooks.
In the public school system, Black history is vague.
Why don't the school books ever talk about the Freedmen's Bureau?
I created the workbook for the African American family. This book helps fill in the gaps that the school books don't. Purchase the workbook for the African American family on OurStoryPublications.com and use the Cash App, $Our Story Publications.